2 straight games with low 80 points. How do you feel about the defense now?
As good as you can. I mean, in today's NBA, high scoring, fast paced, to hold a team to 78 and 79 is amazing, but let alone a back-to-back, against a quality team that's playing very well. We really, obviously that second quarter, we locked down there, but overall, even besides the second quarter, 24, 24, and 21 in 3 other quarters is great in today's game.
How did you guys do it? What was the key to that?
Really limited them in transition. The first quarter, they hurt us on the offensive glass. I think they had 6, they're the #1 offensive rebounding team in the league, and so we really talked about that, taking care of the ball, not letting them get out on fast breaks, but really bottled down in the half court, bottled them up a little bit, kept them out of transition, and limited them to 1 shot in the second quarter. That's what really did it. So credit our guys. We switched up some coverages. We felt good about our guys guarding their perimeter guys, our bigs, and then as well, especially when Bam was out of the game, we felt good about switching on our smalls onto their posts. So they did a great job limiting those guys. Duncan Robinson, I think 3 for 4 in the first quarter, and then he 0 for 4 in the second quarter. So we locked in on some specifics. And then overall, the bench scoring was what kind of brought it home for us.
Is this kind of the toughness you want from your defense, especially that second quarter, where it seemed like you guys were
Yeah, I mean, you could say that, but 9 points isn't going to happen that often. But the energy, the focus, the attention to detail is what we're talking about. And so the first quarter, the things that hurt us, we cleaned them up in the second quarter and most of the second half. I mean, they got a few offensive rebounds in the third quarter, and we had some turnovers that let them drop the lead a little bit. But for the most part, focusing on the things that hurt us early, and we took care of those the rest of the game.
Any update on Jaylen?
He has some tightness in his hamstring. He has a little history of some stuff over there, so we want to be cautious, and he'll get checked out, and we'll know more tomorrow.
You've been talking weeks about this team defense first. We're going to win games, ugly win games of defense. Is this kind of your prototype game, just where your highest score is 17 points?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that's prototype offensively. Defensively, that's exactly what we wanted to look like. We knew they would come out in the second half, throwing punches and being physical, and we had to match that physicality and keep our composure, where we got a little rattled there and got some technicals and things of that nature. But defensively, yes. Offensively, we still want to improve, obviously, on our numbers. Shot 40% from 3 and the field. We got to get that up. But to hold them in 34%, 22 from 3, that's a defensive blueprint we want to have.
You went 10 deep in the first quarter. Was that a product of second night of a back-to-back, or were you looking to switch things up?
A little bit of both. The back-to-back, we tried to get guys in just shorter stints, especially Al and some of those guys, but also Jay Rich being out. We took a look at some of the younger guys, Aaron, and those guys obviously played a huge game. Credit to them and the staff for keeping them ready, working hard for their opportunity. And so it was a little bit of both, with Josh missing the game last minute, but the back-to-back was a part of it.
You said earlier you felt like he's been pressing a little bit. Smith, maybe. How nice was it to see him come out, hit some shots, but also make an impact defensively?
Yeah, it was great. And we've watched him playing 5-on-5, and he's knocking down shots, doing what he did all preseason in Summer League. And so it was just some first-game jitters. He's a young guy that, hasn't played a ton of basketball and, rushed some things early. It wasn't just that he played poorly. It was other guys that played well. Grant really played well early. Romeo played well early, and so we were just going with that lineup, as well as our veterans with Dennis and Josh. So got squeezed there for a little bit, for some minutes, but always have confidence in him. He's a guy that we know can light it up, bring us a spark off the bench, and then being solid on defense, it was just added bonus there.
You went all bench lineup, like late first, early second, kind of held steady, and then brought the starters back in and went on a huge run. What made you want to go with that and not keep at least a starter out there? How did that allow you guys to?
It was impacted by foul trouble. Jason had some early. I think Jaylen got one as well. So we felt good, as long as it can be all bench, but we got solid veterans out there, and like I said, Romeo and Aaron were playing really well. So we're confident in all those guys. We know sometimes we try to stagger Jason and Jaylen, but on nights like last night and tonight, where they get foul trouble and things of that nature, we feel confident putting in 5 guys, and led by Dennis and that crew there.
On a night where the bench was so hollow, I guess what does that do differently for you guys while we were there and that's all kind of on the
Yeah, I mean, it just adds to the offensive repertoire, basically. Those guys were playing well. We could buy minutes for the starters, especially in the back-to-back, and times we would have brought Jason back in at a point. We went with the young guys that were rolling. So they were playing so good defensively that we didn't want to break the rhythm of that group. Jaylen came back in, did some things, but we really wanted to keep that bench core in there. And like I said, reward them for how well they were playing.
They cut a game in the third. You knew they were going to make a run, but then they got kind of emotional text.
Yeah.
Do you like the way your team handled that? Was able to bounce back despite Jason didn't score till early fourth quarter?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it at halftime. We said, they're going to come out swinging, they're going to junk the game up. They did that early. We had I think 6 turnovers early in the quarter and gave up 9 points in the first 3 minutes, which we only gave up 9 in the second quarter. So I called that quick timeout. Just told them to keep their composure. They're going to try to junk it up. Don't start complaining. And we bounced back. So I love that part of it. I don't love that it got down to 8 and we got a little chippy and got sloppy there. But great job bouncing back. We obviously gave up leads a few times this year. So for us to bounce back and get it back to 9 or 18 by the end of the quarter was huge.
We talked pregame about this being a measuring stick, them with the best record in the East. And how is it gratifying to see you guys come out and play this way and get this win?
Yes, it's great for everybody, honestly. On a night where Jason struggles, the other guys step up and play. Got a night where Jay Rich is out last minute, other guys can step in and contribute. So it's good overall. I mentioned before the game how we had played well against the quote unquote top team so far, with Chicago the other night, obviously, and giving up that lead, but Washington and New York and some of the teams that are doing so well, we felt like this was another good chance for us to test ourselves, and we knew the growth and progression in the last few games. If we could get some carryover from last night, we'd be in a good spot. Holding them to 78 is obviously something you don't think with this high-scoring team, especially with their bench play. And, Tyler Hero averages 20 himself, and we held their whole bench to 20. So did our job there, focused on certain things, and our bench really outplayed theirs.
Brought to you by your New England Ford dealers, who are celebrating Ford Truck Month with great deals on Ranger, Super Duty, and the redesigned F-150. Ford Trucks. Built Ford tough.